Hey guys, did you miss me? I did, so I decided to make this short video on modals for you. I hope that you are all doing great and you can join us for this video. Could you please possibly, before watching this video, find your student books, find the section Grammar Database, pages number 184, 185. These pages contain the rules on modals that you might need to use. So let's go. I want to start with two questions. First question, why do we need modal verbs? And the second question, how do we use modal verbs? So question number one, why do we need modal verbs? So modal verbs express our personal attitude to different situations. For example, take the situation of the exam. You could say, I must pass my exam, which means that you want to pass your exam very much. This is your inner desire. And you could say, I have to pass my exam. Why? Because maybe you want to enter university, or because your parents will be angry, and so on. Can you see? Two different attitudes to the same situation. And do you still remember the second question? Yes, you're right. How do we use modals? Do you remember that we don't use any endings, don't use any auxiliaries when we use modals? For example, I can swim, he can swim. We don't use any auxiliaries even in the questions and negatives. I can't swim, he can't swim. Can I swim? Can he swim? Clear? Okay, so let's start. Your book provides 4 meanings of modals. They are obligation, ability, advice, and permission. We'll start with ability. So there are 3 modals that can help you to form ability. Actually, there are 2 modals and 1 semi-modal. So they are can, could, and be able to. So can is used for present ability. For example, I can swim now. Could is used for past ability. For example, I could swim when I was 5. And do you remember when do we use be able to? Yes, you're right. We can use be able to in any meaning, in any context we want. For example, we can use be able to for present. I'm able to swim. For past, I was able to swim when I was 5 years old. For future, I will be able to swim in 5 months. And for perfect, even for perfect, I have been able to swim since I was 5 years old. Got it? Okay, so the next meaning, this is obligation. Do you remember my example with the exam? This is it. So there are 2 verbs to express obligation, must and have to. So must is used for our inner obligation and have to is used for our external obligation. For example, I can give you an example with a test. I have to study before my test. Means that there are some teachers who will be angry if I don't pass my test, or my parents will be disappointed, and so on. And I must study before my test. It means that I want to study because I want some knowledge, and of course I want a good mark. Clear? Okay, so before we go to advice, I want you to remember one thing. Only be able to and have to are used in infinitives and after other modals. So we can say, for example, for be able to, I will be able to read in Spanish in 5 months, for example. And I cannot say I can read in Spanish. It's impossible. The same with have to. I cannot say I must do my homework. I can only say I will have to do my homework. And here we don't care about the meaning that we want to express. Okay, you need to remember it. So the third meaning, if you still remember, is advice. So advice is expressed with two verbs in English. They are should and ought to. They are the same, but ought to is used with to. For example, you should visit this party. This is one example with should, and you ought to visit this party. This is the example with ought to. The difference only in this particle. So don't forget to use your particle to with the ought. Got it? Okay, and permission. We have three modal verbs to ask for permission. They are can, could, and may. So if you put them in a list, you would put them like this: can, could, may. What do I mean? Can is less polite than could, and could is less polite than may. So if you want to be very polite, you should use may. Or you could use can, but don't forget to use please at the end of the sentence. Clear? So guys, if you have any questions, actually this was everything that I wanted to say about modals for you this time. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, please do. I will answer. I will happily answer. And keep calm, learn English, and stay healthy.